Mr. Kennedy, and he has a lot to say to everyone out there watching. He's going to be on Wrestling with Savage. Stop yelling so much. Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling? I'm excited. Watching this. This is Mr. Kennedy taking a chop from Savage. He just gave me a nice stiff one. Nice stiff one. Solid. I appreciate you, bro.
You're watching Wrestling with Savage, the best late night wrestling show in the world.
I say you are listening to Wrestling with Savage, the best podcast in the history of podcasts.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, proud say you live as the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here they give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Because they are the best tag team in the world. Tag team.
Be my honor to be a guest on your show.
Christmas Bully Ray, good job, Savage. It's the best hat in pro wrestling. Take that fucking Raw Bandit. Raw fuck.
It's MDK and Wrestle with Savage all fucking day.
Okay, we got over here.
Well, what do we got over here? Have your cake and eat it too.
All right, enough of the bullshit. You've heard that song plenty of times. And tonight is a special show. It's a Savage with a Savage. I'm going to bring him in right now. We're here with PJ Savage, and we're going to kick it off. AEW Dynamite. What's going on, Savage?
Ain't not much, man. Appreciate you having me on. It's Savage with Savage. It's time to get it going, baby. Appreciate you having me on, man. Thank you for
absolutely, man, bro. From one Savage to another, I've seen you do your thing over the last year, and I'm very impressed. And we're going to get right into it right now, and I want you to tell me all about it. Tell me about PJ Savage. Tell me about what we're looking at on the screen right now. Obviously, you're on Wrestling with Savage right now, but there you are as a young buck. When did you start wrestling?
Man, that's first show, man. That's second or third show.
Second or third show.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was wearing. That was the jean vest. I didn't know what I was doing, but that was
almost looked like Orange Cassidy right there for a second.
Right? Yeah, definitely. That was 2016 when I first started with Johnny Rods. I was trained by WWE Hall of Famer Johnny Rods.
That's awesome. Gleason's gym, right?
Yes, sir. Out in Gleason's, and every 6 weeks he used to run a show of his own with all his students showcasing, and that was a good one, man. That was actually my first, I think my first win.
It's insane how long he's been doing this thing, man.
Yeah, that's pretty dope that you pulled this out the vault. That's short hair Savage. Oh man, there's more.
There's more.
I didn't know what I was doing with the jean jacket.
Johnny Rods had a stiff ring. I'll say that, man. That ring was brutal back in the day. I remember that. I used to take a couple bucks back in the day.
Look at the brothers. Oh, this picture's actually pretty cool.
Tell me about this picture.
This is the first night I won the heavyweight championship with Johnny.
That's awesome, man.
So this was pretty cool. It was in a match with Willie Mack, La Parka Jr. It was pretty dope, man. It was really, really cool, man.
That's a pretty special moment right there that you got all your boys right there with you. And wrestling, it's like crazy the relationships you make with people on the road and just everyone, you know. It's a great thing, man. So there's your title right there. When is this? This
is 2017.
This is 2017 right now. So this is the come up right here. Wow.
Yeah, this is a year later. This is these pictures were taken 2 months before I faced Bobby Lashley.
2 months before you took on Bobby Lashley. Actually, wow, we're getting into that later. I think someone wants to ask you about that. And I see you've given yourself a great brand. Did you come up with this logo yourself?
To give you some insight, and I don't think I've ever told anybody what's behind the logo. So originally the logo was like a skull. I wanted something different. Of course, I wanted to brand myself. Johnny Rods, as you can see, it just said Savage. He didn't really let you brand yourself. So once I decided to leave the coop, leave the school, it was time to brand myself. I know what it's about getting out here. You have to be a brand. You have to be something everybody recognizes. When I walk through my son's school every day, they see the logo and they go, "Oh, that's Lucas's dad." Like, it's something that grabs their attention. But the real promise behind the PJ Savage logo is actually the Batman logo. And now that I said it, you probably can't unsee it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
it's the Batman logo.
That's awesome, though. That's awesome because, hey, listen, we take inspiration from everything. You've been talking to Savage now. You can talk to George, the guy behind the glasses. Once I put the glasses on, I got to turn into that asshole. But, this is the human now, all right? The human talking to you. And I do like your logo. I like your brand. This is awesome, by the way. I can't wait till you're actually on an episode of South Park one day.
It'd be so good.
Let's make that happen after you kick someone's ass on Monday Night Raw. Yeah, great branding so far. Like, you've really stepped it up over the last 2 years. I mean, actually, I'll get into it right now just to get it out of the way because I had it set up for you. Where is it over here? I'm looking over here. There we go. We're looking at your Instagram right now. We'll check it out. Everybody go follow PJ Savage on Instagram. Follow him on YouTube. Follow him on Twitter. When you get a chance, you go check out his other website, Wrestling Over Everything. And they have a big story over here from what I saw. I believe it's in with the sponsored athletes.
Yeah,
a bunch of people, man.
It's a bunch of people, a bunch of wrestlers. Sam Laterna trained with her at Gleason's. There's so many people. What Wrestling Over Everything is doing, they're amazing at what they do and everything that they push and the message that they are and represent about. It's amazing. It's so many sponsor athletes, so many people working with Wrestling Over Everything. It's a great brand. Go over there if you want to purchase anything. Use code PJ Savage at checkout. Get 10% off your whole order.
Very good. Perfectly cut commercial right there. That's why they're paying PJ Savage the big bucks. But you can also help him make some more money right now. Go over to Pro Wrestling Tees and look how many shirts you have. I mean, there's dudes on the main roster that don't have as many shirts as this right now.
Yeah, and actually next week we're breaking out 6 new designs. So it's going to be cool for the 2023 year, breaking out whole 6 new designs. And the hoodies are going to be available for pre-order next week.
By the way, I'm going to have all these links on the bottom of this video description too, so you can get to them much easier. I'll do that later tonight, though. But I want you to tell me a little bit more about Invictus Pro Wrestling, and then I'm going to start bringing in the crew over here. All right, we have Totowa Tom coming in. We have Gilch coming in. We have Anthony Loves Wrestling coming in. And everyone, I'm sure, is going to have a question for you. But why don't you tell us right now a little bit about Invictus Pro Wrestling and, of course, the event that's coming up pretty soon called the Get Down, and that's this Friday, and it's already sold out. It's already sold out, probably because of PJ Savage, though.
Definitely because of PJ Savage.
So tell us about Invictus Pro Wrestling, buddy.
Nah, man. Invictus Pro Wrestling is a special place to me, man. It's one of the first places, along with another company called Titan Championship Wrestling, and another place called Intense Wrestling Alliance. Those 3 companies were, when I first broke out at Gleason's, they all gave me a chance. Just a regular somebody that nobody was giving chances to. And at Invictus Pro Wrestling, they just gave me a chance to walk through a curtain. That's all I needed, man. That's all I need anywhere I go. Give me a chance to walk through a curtain, and I'm going to walk out with 10 new believers, a whole bunch of people in the crowd that want to see what I'm going to do next because I put my heart and soul into it. It's not a gimmick. It's me. It's real. PJ Savage, the person, and the wrestler is the same thing. There's no different. And Invictus Pro Wrestling lets me showcase that. Showcase a whole side of that no one else gets to see. My son was in the ring with me last show, man. Invictus Pro Wrestling, you get to see true Savage at Invictus Pro Wrestling, and it's in New York, man. It's one of the few places I get to wrestle in my hometown of New York City. I'm born and raised in New York City, so it's pretty cool, man. And the roster that they have put together is amazing. It's a bunch of young, up-and-coming talent that's going to get to the next level very soon. Me, Ken Broadway, Gabriel Sky, so many other guys, Nikolai White. There's so many people. Barton and De Niro, Fight or Die, Jacko, Face. There's so many dudes over there that are just absolutely killing it right now. And Invictus provides them a platform to get to the next level. Another guy named Big Game Leroy, Big Ben Bishop. There's so many guys over there, man. Invictus is a truly little special place that if you're not following it right now, 5-10 years from now, you're going to hear stories about Invictus Pro Wrestling. And people are going to go back and look into the vault. If they're still around, they're going to watch the show then. Because it's one of those places, there's a lot of stories that's going to come out of that. And it's a great place, man. If you can't get there, you can't get there. It's already sold out. Go check it out on IWTV this Friday, man.
Look at you there. I mean, this is your squad right now?
So Takeover's disbanded. There's no more Takeover. We're all feuding with each other, and we all hate each other right now.
Okay, I like it. That makes sense.
We all hate each other.
If you're not fighting over it, then you're not doing it right.
No, and a little bit of a backstory behind the group of Takeover. Takeover, we're all Johnny Rod's guys. We all left together. We were training up at the Sanctuary in Pennsylvania with John Trotsky, Ace Austin. And we was just getting our grease. That's the Sanctuary. I love the Sanctuary. It's an amazing place. And they let me just cut my teeth up there and really find out what the brand was. And John Trotsky is a genius. I don't care what anyone else says. He's a genius, man. He's one of those people who's a very, very special person. Has a very good mind for this. And so we were all up there in the sanctuary, like, are we really going to leave Johnny's? Because Johnny doesn't let you do the indies. If you do the indies, then you're kind of blackballed from Gleason's gym.
Really?
Yeah.
That's tough. Is it still like that?
Yeah, it's still like that, man. And it sucked, too, man. I wrestled so many guys down at Gleason's. I wrestled Bobby Lashley. I wrestled Willie Mack. I wrestled Parker, Pagano. So many great names. I was on the same shows as Psycho Clown and so many other great Mexican names. I wrestled Super Crazy in ECW Arena. Like, did so many great and cool things at the World of Unpredictable Wrestling, but I feel like no one saw it because Johnny keeps it under a rock. He doesn't let people come out. He doesn't let people go out and do other indies. So we all kind of, the four of us made the pact to leave the Johnny Rod school and hit the indies, and we hit it together, and we was like, we're going to take over together, and that's how the group kind of got started.
Seems like you made the right decision so far from what I'm seeing, man, with the growth and just the overall productivity, man, with the branding. And look at these screenshots. I mean, look at that picture, man. Look at that knee to the face, man. I love it, man. And the intensity in your face and in your eyes, everything you do is 100% believable. And, you know, you're like the type of wrestler where, like, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. When you give a move, you feel it.
Yeah, 100%. And that's my style. That's what I want it to be. I'm from New York. I'm real. So, like, what I wanted my style to be was, I don't have to run 80 spots. I'm not going to give you a whole New Japan spot, flip-flop the rope and drop down. The other guy can do that, and I'm going to hit him one time. But that one time is going to get everyone out their seats. They're going to think he's dead. Like, that's my style of wrestling. You can hit me 100 times. I'm going to hit you once, and I'm going to knock your ass out.
Why don't we actually just watch your style of wrestling?
Oh, man. This man got everything. Oh,
wow. Now, I didn't use the music because I didn't know about the copyrights and all that.
No, it's not copyrighted, but it's still good, man. This is down at Gleason's. This is the old stuff, man.
This is my own little cut that I made out of all different stuff of yours.
Like, I love it, baby. This is great.
Threw that in there, too. You're like beating on people relentlessly in apartment buildings. I love it. Look at this powerbomb on the apron. Knee to the face. Look at this. Beautiful powerbomb. Why not one more? Woo!
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
Another apron bomb.
My favorite one.
Woo! Look at that, Brandon. That nice frog splash off the second rope and getting that kind of height. What are you at, like 260?
I'm 270, 6 foot.
270, 6 foot. It's a big boy coming off that second rope that nicely.
Yeah, that's why I can't come off the top. I'm going to kill those guys.
You can kill and break the ring, man. Woo!
Unchained.
Nice connection. Backdrop, classic.
Savage.
That was dope. That was dope.
Savage.
That was awesome.
Yeah, no, I'll send you the video after, man. You
Oh yeah, please do,
man. But I had one person who's gonna have a question for you. We'll go to him first. Gilch, what was your question for PJ Savage?
I wanted to know what your Bobby Lashley in-ring experience was like.
Ooh.
That was awesome, man. I was 7 months in when I faced Bobby Lashley.
Wow.
I was 7 months in training, and thank you to Johnny and all the powers that be over there. They believed in me 7 months in. Like, I was getting it. But I was trained by so many great guys. Matt Stryker was training me. There was Devon was coming in teaching me things.
That might be a record, bro. I mean, like, who else has had a bigger match? I mean, except maybe Logan Paul fought Roman Reigns.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Nothing.
Maybe him, but other than that, who else fought a star of that magnitude 7 months in?
It was intense, man. It was great, but like I never forget CM Punk's documentary. He talked about Eddie Guerrero when he faced Eddie Guerrero when he was on Indies on that hiatus from WWE when they let him go, and that was his measuring stick match. And for me, at 7 months, yeah, of course, I'm shitting bricks and I'm nervous as hell. But it was also, I had a lot of people in my ear going, you got talent, you got potential. And I hated that word. It was like potential. But I needed to see something, and Bobby Lashley was that see something. And it was like, can I stand in front of him and hang? Like, can I hang? And man, it was awesome. The crowd was eating it up. Everybody was into it. He speared me through the barricade that night.
I was going to ask you, how did that feel?
That was scary, man.
That was rough, right?
That man's a tank. Like, he looks huge. He's even bigger in person. Like, the man's insanely jacked, and he's just a machine. And he runs fast as hell. And he hits even harder. So when he came at me for the spear, the scarier part was that I didn't notice how close my head was to the stairs behind me. My head probably was like maybe a couple inches away.
I saw the clip and I was like, that looked rough.
Yeah, I had family in the front row and they were all scared. And it was like, oh my God, did your head hit the stairs? Did your head hit? I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But that was an awesome experience, man. It was a measuring stick moment for sure. And it kind of fueled the confidence for the character PJ Savage going forward.
How can it not? All right, Jay, I'll go to you, man. You got a question for Mr. Savage?
I just want to see gold. I think we're missing the big picture right here. Can I please see the IWA belt? Please, gold, something, please.
You gotta give me a second. You gotta give me a second. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
Look at this. He's going to get the gold.
I appreciate that. That's how we gotta start.
She has a hell of a nice logo. She's got a nice branding over here.
Maybe he just didn't want to talk to Jay, so he just left.
It's a possibility.
He was like, I don't know.
It's all right. I know Tom's got a question. We definitely got more pictures to show. I want to ask him about this picture right here specifically. I need to know what's going on here. Like I said, that picture looks insane. I want to know what's going on there. Maybe he's taking out a display case too, Jay. You're really inconveniencing our guests.
I wish we could get an inside camera just to see like where
what's going on.
When he comes back, I'm gonna have my gold too.
Trophy room.
Oh, look at now Gilch is getting up.
Gilch.
He went to go get the AEW gold. So Tom, what's going on, man? How was that? Did you go today for Rick Recon and Vicious Vicky?
That was a fundraiser. Justin Carino's son has leukemia. I think he's only 6 years old.
I heard about that. Everybody should have went today.
Yeah.
All right, here it comes, Jay. You ready? Let's put him up.
Nice one.
That's gorgeous.
That's a dope belt, bro.
Beware, you got nothing against my man PJ Savage. You got nothing, boy.
That's earned gold, man.
There was the original version of it, which this was the updated version that I turned it into, which was this one.
Oh, nice.
It
looks 10 times better, bro.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. This is Goldie.
That's beautiful.
If I have any like insight, which the owner of IWA, his name is Frank, he blessed me. He was like, "Hey, look, you've done a lot for IWA. Do you have any ideas on the concept for the title?" And the concept for the title is actually the U.S. title from WCW.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. You can see it has like the upper part, the two sides, the eagle. That belt I used to love. I studied a lot of WCW growing up. I studied like when I got into the wrestling, I was studying a shit ton of Dusty Rhodes. That's like my go-to. If I just got to study and I don't know what to dive into, it's Dusty. Watch some old 80s WCW or just Nitro. There was a lot of that. So WCW was a huge influence on me. So Sting, of course, is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. That was the first time I ever saw the belt. And then when Eddie had it, so it was like I kind of wanted to look like the U.S. title. And we had some guy in India make up the design, and it was perfect. It came out great.
Oh, wow. It's getting packed in here tonight.
Great design.
All right, Louis, you're going to have to wait a second.
What up?
He probably knows you, though. Tom?
Yes.
What you got for PJ Savage?
I'd like to go back in time with Mr. Savage and have him discuss WrestleMania 10 with us and what he remembers about it.
Yeah, you guys do your research. I like this. This is the best podcast I've ever done when it comes to just knowing me. Like you guys have done, Jesus Christ, props and kudos to every single one of you.
We tried.
Yeah, WrestleMania 10, man, that was my first wrestling event. I was 4 years old.
Wow.
My uncle took me. My grandmother paid for the tickets. They all knew I was a little Bret Hart mark. That was like my guy growing up. Bret Hart was like what John Cena is and what Cody is now to kids. Bret was that for me. So they got me the tickets to go because they knew Bret was going to wrestle at least once. I don't remember much of that night. I just remember Bret coming out. I remember that music hitting.
Yeah.
Wow. I remember Macho Man, and I couldn't see him no more. He went in like somewhere into the crowd with Crush, and I was just so upset I couldn't see him. And then they showed the little glimpse on the screen. I was like, okay, but that sucks. I can't see him. And of course, like the one image that's burned into my head is the end of the show where Bret was just And it wasn't when they hoisted him up. I never forget just being a young kid and just seeing a group of guys salute one person and just hugging him and shaking his hand, and you could just tell it was one of those moments where they were like, you deserve it. That sat with me till this day. Like, I'll never forget that, ever. That was a special night for me.
That's a powerful moment, yeah.
Would you say that's the night that you decided to say to yourself, I want to become a professional wrestler?
No.
When did that happen?
That night for me was, I was at the Garden and Triple H came back.
You were there that night?
I was there that night.
Did you hear them chanting asshole? About 1,000 people? That was me getting kicked out of Madison Square Garden while Triple H was spinning the water.
No way!
And I was spinning the water back because some homeless guy threw up on all our seats. And I got into a fight with the manager. He gave me free tickets to SmackDown. And
that's awesome.
I told him I don't want the free tickets. All I want is I'm going ringside when Triple H comes out. He's like, I don't know about that. I said, I do. Triple H comes out. I go. Security guard in front of me. Shoulder blocked him. He went flying like 7 feet. I'm like, I am the game and you don't want to play me. Screaming all this shit. Fucking 4 security guards just dragging me away. I'm still singing.
Oh, you were the asshole.
You were there. I was
there.
The asshole.
You were the asshole. That explains a lot, man. There's some assholes in us Savages. There really is, though.
Hey, man. Am I really the asshole? They disrespected my seats first. Smelled like puke all night long. What am I paying money for?
Boy.
Was Mania 10 the ladder match?
Yeah, Shawn and Razor.
That match was like one of the best matches. One of the best matches of all time live.
I kind of had a good upbringing. a good upbringing, man. But yeah, that Triple H moment was huge for me because I've been to count. My uncles used to tape trade, so they used to go to the Garden. Sometimes they would never even go into the show. They would just be on the outside trading tapes, Japan tapes, ECW tapes, whatever they could get their hands on. They would just trade them, go home, watch them, bring it back to the show the next week, and then do the same thing. It was like rinse and repeat. And I used to be that little kid just with them, like just going with them. And sometimes they would scalp some good tickets and we would get to go in. But the one thing I do remember is just going to the Garden, and you know how tough the Garden is. The Garden is just tough. The fans that go there, either they love you, they hate you.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna let you know. It's like playing for the Yankees and sucking. They're gonna let you know. You know what I'm saying? So the Garden is very much like that. And having that in my mental, I had to be, I think it was like 12, 11 at the time, and just seeing everybody come together for Triple H. Like, holy shit. I still haven't heard a pop like that.
There's never been one, and there never will be one ever again because he had that momentum and that build up from all that story, and then just it was thunderous, man. I ran around the block because they kicked me out on 8th Avenue. I run around the block to 7th Avenue, run back in. This time I go to the 2nd floor because I'm not stupid enough to go back to the 1st floor. Make it back in time for the pedigree on Kurt Angle.
Oh my God.
True story.
It was nuts, man. It was just nuts. That was a
moment. We didn't have cell phones, bro. So I had 7 people with me, and I'm like, I climbed the light pole. I'm hanging off the crosswalk sign to like look for them as they're coming out on 7th Avenue. It was crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
It was awesome. The best times, though, weren't you? Going to all those wrestling shows. That Triple H show was incredible, man.
Yeah, man. Like, I'll never forget the Garden in those days. The Garden, like, and I've been to a couple shows afterward, like recently, and it's not the same. And it's just the fans. The fans are just different.
New York's one of a kind. I've been to shows all over the country, and there's nothing like New York City.
We also didn't have spoilers back then, right? It was fun.
Speaking of New York, do you know of the wrestling universe in Queens?
Of course, yeah.
Then you must know Lewis.
Of course.
Lewis, you got a question for Mr. Savage? You're gonna just stay muted down there and try to look timeless.
I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot we were doing this tonight. I was just like, let me just hop on.
Cool.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome.
I'm good.
Sick.
Anthony loves wrestling. Do you got a question for Mr. PJ Savage?
I had it and it just.
Yeah, he's fucking done. He's fucking done. I got a question. Tell me about this picture.
Oh man, that was awesome. That was in December. I totally fucked my ankle on this.
Wow.
I landed completely right on that left ankle, the foot that's lower. I destroyed it. But that was also, I'm known at Invictus Pro Wrestling and other promotions to jump off of shit.
Okay.
Like, I want to give the crowd Something
to remember. Absolutely, man. You want to give him a moment.
This goes back. I was on a show with Pagano. He was a famous wrestler from Mexico. He's a legend down there, and he does a lot of hardcore matches. And I remember having a conversation with him, and he cut me off because I was just asking for advice. I was just a young boy asking for advice, and he cuts me off, and he goes in Spanish, but he tells me, "Never stop doing what you do for the people. It doesn't matter if they pay you $5, $100, or $1,000. You go out there and you give them your all, no matter what, and always make sure they remember you when they leave." And that was one of those moments that created that really put something in my mental to do stuff like this. Like, I promise you, this Friday at Invictus Pro Wrestling to Get Down, I'm gonna jump off some crazy shit. We're in a brewery. I'm gonna climb to the top of one of them tanks and I'm jumping off of it. And I don't care if there's 5 people there, 10 people there, and I don't even care if I don't get paid.
It's sold out, baby.
That's just me, baby. Like, that's what I do and what I bring to the table. And that's in my DNA. So I love jumping off of stuff. No matter what, wherever I'm at, if I could jump off of something, I'm gonna jump off of it.
I love it, man. 2022 was a big year for you. I mean, you were wrestling at We Are Wrestling. You were at Wrestling in the USA, Pro Wrestling Magic, Superstars of Wrestling Federation, Standalone Wrestling, Test of Strength Wrestling, Project Codename Wrestling, and of course, Invictus Wrestling, because you were the Wrestler of the Year. And how does that feel to win that kind of accolade amongst your peers at such an early stage?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Like, I'm still 2 years in on the indies. That was pretty dope, man. That was pretty awesome. And then not even to mention, like, just the rest of the awards. I won Match of the Year, Moment of the Year, and Wrestler of the Year for Invictus Pro Wrestling. And to put everything into perspective, like, there's a lot of politics out here. You know, it's hard to get into certain promotions.
Absolutely.
It's hard to get into upper echelon promotions, especially a guy like me. Like, I'm a guy that I'm going to walk into locker rooms and, yeah, I could end up being a locker room leader or developing into that type. I do have that in my DNA. But the first thing I'm going to do when I walk into a locker room is, how can I be the best? That's not going to rub everybody the right way. I'm going to come in and I'm going to try to take everyone's spot, whoever's in front of me, because I want to stand on the top of the ladder. I want to be number one. I want to be de facto one. That's it. Point blank, period. I want to be the best this promotion has. Anywhere you walk into, any promotion I represent, I want to be the best guy. So Invictus was kind of on the edge of letting me in, and they finally just gave me a chance. And I already know, like, once you give me a chance, that's it. Like, it's you're done, because the fans are going to want me back. Someone in the back is going to want me back. And then I get to take off. And so going through all of that, and then a year later being with Invictus, winning all these accolades and being someone, I hold their Climb for Clout briefcase, which is like their Money in the Bank. And I get to announce what I'm going to do with that on Friday.
Nice.
So it's cool, man. So it's humbling. It's amazing to be in this position, but I want more. Like, I want more.
You should. As you should, man. That your attitude is the attitude it takes to break it in this business, to make it in this business. If you want to make money, you can't make friends. You can do one of the two if you're a wrestler. If you're me, you can make friends and make money and then screw your friends. Oh, wait, hold on. Where's my glasses? Gotta turn into a fucking... Fuck everybody and make fucking money. I'm coming for everybody's fucking money. I'm coming for Tony Khan's money. I'm coming for Vince's money. I'm coming for your money, PJ Savage. I want to take everybody's fucking money. I want it all. As a manager, I want to run the greatest stable of all time. All right, human being again.
My favorite part is everybody else's faces.
They know I'm nuts, man. I respect your passion and your hunger.
PJ.
And you're right at that moment right now where they say around the 7-year mark is when a professional wrestler truly hones in on their craft. So you're coming up on that signature year that could be the definition of your legacy in the upcoming decade.
Yeah, definitely. This year is big. There's a lot of talk this year of what could be happening. There's which I could break it here. I don't have to name companies. Japan is an option that looks like it's about 80% done.
Is that New Japan Dragon Gate, or you can't comment?
I can't comment. But there's a lot of cool stuff happening. a lot, man. And there's a
I'm
lot
excited
of people
for you, bro.
There's a lot of people giving me opportunities. I just, like one of the things I know there's politics and I know it's hard to get in certain places. And the one thing about me is that I'm from Johnny's, and then when you break onto the indies, you don't have anybody doing it for you. There's guys out here from schools, from well-known trainers like Damian Adams or Monster Factory, or even like a Battle Club Pro, and those schools, they push their guys. They get their guys onto shows. They get their guys onto big name shows. I'm not afforded that luxury. I'm doing everything on my own. You know what I'm saying?
I got a word or two in a couple of promotions, and I'm going to try to get you booked in a couple of spots,
brother. And I would be forever grateful. And one of the things, a lot of guys that were close to me, you showed them in one of the pictures. His name is Prince Ahmed. He used to get mad at me all the time. He's like, I'm tired of you helping out everybody else, and you're not helping out yourself because no one's going to help you out. And I'm like, that's why I need to help out everybody else, because I need to change that stigma of not helping the next guy. Like, I'm starting a whole wrestling promotion called Chosen Pro Wrestling. And this starts the first show is April 15th, and we're holding the tryout March 25th. And at this tryout, you're going to see Win Wrestling Is Now, Invictus, Pro Wrestling Magic, Titan Championship Wrestling, so many promotions from our area. And they're going to be there. And the one thing I ask from all these promotions is that if you're going to join this tryout, you have to get guaranteed shots to at least 2 talents, just to make sure guys can get shots to be seen at some of these places.
You would think so many promotions out there now, and the way wrestling's thriving right now, why aren't like promotion wars going on? Like, why don't we see Cap versus this, or ISPW versus Outlaw? I mean, like, the possibilities are endless. Invictus versus BPW.
Politics.
Yeah, you're right. It is politics. But if more people work together, there's the demand for wrestling. There really is. Someone has to help break this ground, and I like PJ Savage's attitude towards it. And with guys like him and guys like me and guys like Gilch, we can make things happen here in the good state of New York, and then, of course, the tri-state area. I'm down to help you put together a multitude of shows, not just your own shows. Why not? That's what gives people opportunities, is shows.
Exactly, and that's what I want to create with Chosen Pro Wrestling. Is there's 5 guaranteed shows this for the rest of the year. They're going to run bi-monthly. There's more opportunities there that we can't announce yet. But I want to give opportunities to guys. There's some guys that I got my eye on that wrestle at places they shouldn't be at, but they're there because they don't know how to break out. So it's like, come to Chosen, put you in front of a bunch of people, and I'll get you some shots. Why not? And everybody looks at me. It's like, you're still a wrestler on this team. You're still a guy trying to be number one. That's what's going to make me number one. I never forget from Johnny Rods. He made me head trainer when I was about 2 years in. I was there for, 5 years. So I was head trainer for 3 years. I was heavyweight champion for 4 years. But when he made me heavyweight champion, the one thing that really changed in my mental, not heavyweight champion, head trainer, the one thing that really changed in my mental was he sat me down in the office and he was like, I'm going to make you head trainer, but I need you to understand this. And you need to understand this more than anything else in this business. You're going to learn more from training other people than you did by getting trained. And I see potential in you. That's why I'm putting you in this position. And that taught me so much. Training guys, seeing footwork, learning details, camaraderie, building brotherhood, learning how to push a roster to put a product that we have no business pushing out, challenging other people that we have no business doing. And it's like, it stands up if you watch it. And I got to learn so much doing that. So that's ingrained in my DNA. So that's why with Chosen, it's like, I cannot wait to just get all these young, hungry guys. I'm not wrestling on Chosen. This is not a promotion that I'm going to just put the belt on myself and go off on it. No, I don't even want to be in the ring. This is a whole thing just to help other guys get chances, and so I can learn a different side of the business, because I want to learn it all. I want to be around it. Some of my biggest influences are Paul Heyman, Dusty Rhodes, Jeff Jarrett, guys behind the camera. Jeff Jarrett did it both sides. He was a wrestler and he was behind the scenes. I want to learn the whole business. One of my biggest goals, so all of you can know what I really am, I want to be the best in the world. I want to be number one. When it's all said and done, I want to be the best wrestler to have ever lived. I want to start my own royal family, my own legacy, my own kids. I want them in the business. But other guys that are in the business like me want to be better than RVD. or they want to be better than Jeff Jarrett, or they want to be better than Stone Cold.
They're still marking out. They're still marking out.
Oh, they want to be better than the guy. I want to be better than Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
I want to be the de facto name that you put next to pro wrestling. Like,
well, as of late, it's not hard to be better than Vince McMahon, man. So
you know what I mean.
But all time, yeah, hell yeah. I know.
Yeah, it's along that line. So I think huge picture, way big picture, and I got a lot riding on me, man. My family is in it. I got an amazing support system, and all my kids want to be wrestlers. I have a 14-year-old who's dying to start training. I have a 9-year-old daughter who's dying to start training.
When are you going to start letting the boy train? Is that
the boy? 14? Everybody's going to be able to start when they're 16. I'm not discriminating. My daughter.
That's a fair opportunity. And speaking of opportunities, you got one coming up on this show. There's another show, I believe. This is going to be in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey.
Yeah.
This one's not sold out yet, so you can still get some tickets. Joey Conway, as you're going to be your. This is a fatal 4-way. Wow. Hamlet, Chavo, Guerrero.
That's huge.
Have you ever been in the ring with Chavo before?
No, it's my first time in the ring with Chavo.
That's going to be an awesome opportunity right there, man. You got anything to say to Chavo Guerrero?
Yeah, I cannot wait to whip your ass, Chavo. But no, man, it's another measuring stick moment. You know, the amount of respect I have for the Guerreros, being in the business, studying, being Latino, and just knowing who they are and what they represent. That's a special moment for me, man. Like I modeled the U.S. title over one of these belts over here. Like, there's some rich history in what I do the frog splash, and I make sure I do Eddie's version because it was nothing better than that to me. So that's gonna be a special moment for me to be in the ring with him. Any way, just to be.
You've been all over the place. Look how many shows. I mean, I could have kept putting pictures for days, but then we'd never get to AEW. All you need to know is PJ Savage is an absolute savage, and he's going to the top. And you found out right here on Wrestling with Savage. Why? Go follow him on Instagram, on Facebook, everything. He has a link tree on his Twitter. Just find him on Twitter. Go find PJ Savage on Twitter. Click his link tree, and then go to all his shit. You know that thing they make on TikTok? You know why I'm not famous yet? Because you don't like my shit. Go like his shit. Go like his shit right now. God damn it. And also, I gotta say, all right, I gotta give myself a cheap pop. All right, May 6th, 80s Con, Wrestling 80s Con. We have our first vendor table promotion. Savage Kingdom Promotions is bringing you Jimmy Hart, Marty Jannetty. Come down, hang out. Bret Hart's going to be there. There's going to be wrestling after. Bull James is fighting Rick Recon for the championship. It's going to be a good night. We sponsored Outlaw Wrestling. Come make sure you support us on March 9th. I will be there. Homicide's fighting my boy Alpha, and I love Homicide, but I'm going to have to chant, Alpha's going to kill you, and that's just the way that's going to go down that night. Sabu is entering the battlefield. PJ Savage. And this is the promotion that I actually do commentary for. We have a big event coming up at the Crash Course, March 26th, at the Signature Event Center. This place is a hell of a facility. It's like an NXT Performance Center, multiple rings, a gym, a barber shop, a spa, a massage thing, snack bar. Dude, it's insane, this place. You got to get to this facility if you've never been there. There's a picture of me, doing my thing over there at BPW. I love it over there. It's a great time. I hope I can get you down there for a show. Yeah. Either to be in the show, maybe kick someone's ass. I know some people that I want you to kick their ass too. There's some real smart ass motherfuckers over there. Yeah, you can definitely fuck up Anthony Loves Wrestling, man. No problem.
Squash match, PJ. It's all right.
I'm down to come down, whip some ass, or even just help out with the ring, man. Whatever.
Yeah, you hold him down, and I'll hit him with a leg drop, and that'll be it.
Maybe I give him one knee. If I'm in that ring, I'm kneeing.
Just put your hands up, man. Otherwise, it's gonna be fucking good night.
Hey, 2 weeks ago, I just broke somebody's nose. So.
Please don't break my nose, PJ.
Yeah,
please.
let's not break Anthony's nose yet. He hasn't pissed me off yet.
I think we should break his nose.
Just don't break my nose. I'm a manager, all right? I'm a lover, not a fighter, all right? I'm not fighting anymore.
I actually remember my question. If you don't mind,
if you're gonna hit me, just below the face.
I remember now.
Below the face, PJ. All right, you can knee me in the chest. Shit, I don't care. Dude, you want to chop me? That's okay. It's not that. I got a nice face. I want to leave it that way. You know what? Don't do it. All right, should we get to Dynamite? You saw Dynamite, right? Everybody here saw Dynamite, I think.
Yeah, I watched it.
the excitement. It doesn't sound like you guys had a good time over there. Orange Cassidy was going to take on Bill Morrissey, Big Bill Morrissey. Basically, Orange playing cat and mouse games to start things off. Nonsense. Finally, Bill with the sidewalk slam, the big splash. I like that Orange Cassidy actually took some bumps tonight. Big Bill tried to choke slam him outside. Orange went nuts. And what happens? Whatever. Super Orange punch off the top rope. Nonsense. Great. Fantastic. There's Danhausen. Duenhausen. I don't care anymore. PJ, what did you think of this match?
AEW in a whole is just all over the place. The match was decent. Just watching it was good, but it's so much going on, and I don't know what to invest in. I don't know. I just don't like the Hathaway stuff. They peered it away from MJF, and is it still going? What's the sense with the whole group? Are they like the Truth Busters? There's so much going on, and there's no substance. It's just too much. But as a whole,
they stop them. It's like,
and it's Jesus, not to get ahead, but like Christian and Jungle Boy still going. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, decent match.
I got short notes. I got short notes tonight. Usually our show, like, I got like detailed stuff, and then we go to everybody. Does anybody have anything to say about the opening match of the night tonight, or are we moving on to the next?
I do as well.
Okay.
I said it in our group chat, but obviously not everyone's in there. I am 100% convinced. I'll tone it down, Savage. I won't say exactly what it says.
Christ.
That Orange Cassidy has very compromising photos of Tony Khan, and I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Total Tom.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is like the second time I've seen him take on somebody he should not be in the same ring with. He did it with Brian Cage a couple of weeks ago. This was basically a squash match. I mean, you saw Morrissey do everything to him, and then what happens is Cassidy makes a comeback and hits him 3 times with a Superman punch and then pins him. I'm at the point right now when I think AEW should just bring back a cruiserweight division. There's no crime in doing that, so you can have all these smaller guys go against each other, because this is not believable. You're exposing the business.
I don't disagree with you.
It's
It's a clown show at times. I'm not a fan because they said AEW is going to be serious business. We're going to have records. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But yet we're going to have clown shows getting opportunities instead of people that have been killing themselves for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Billy Gunn should be the AEW World Champion if truth be goddamn told. But, does anybody else have anything to say? Or are we moving on to this bloody promo? And that I'm sure Anthony's in love with Moxley. I'll say it live on the stream. I didn't even curse yet. Anthony's in love with him. Loves this guy. Favorite wrestler of all time in the history of the universe.
No.
Right.
Don't even.
Well, Moxley's busy living his life to the fullest. He's a sick man, and he does this because he loves it, and it's something to be proud of. All this nonsense. I don't care anymore. I've heard the same promo 100 times from this guy.
What made this one different? Go ahead.
Why? Because he's bleeding everywhere profusely on the floor.
Seeing the blood on the floor?
Yeah.
And he was going on and on. I was like, I hope he passes out. That would make the promo so much better.
That would have actually been great.
Yeah. I'll agree to that one.
I'll say this. This was probably his better promo in a long time. He looked very serious. If I had never seen him before, I would have been like, this guy's a lunatic. You know what I mean? It would have had mystique to imagine that was his premiere. You never seen him before. You don't know who this guy is. Comes out like that. Yeah. But because this guy, if you put him in a first blood match, he'd lose in 3 minutes. So what am I going to do, man? I mean, I don't know what to tell you. PJ Savage, it's all you.
To piggyback off of what you said is like, how many times have you seen the same promo?
Yeah.
I feel like AEW is just a lot of that right now. It's every week you tune in, someone's cutting a passionate promo. And for one guy that loves to cut passionate promos, it's killing passionate promos because it's like, how many of them are going to be believable? Like, I remember the Cody and Sami Zayn on Raw. They cut one in the middle of the ring. That was good. But the week before, Heyman and Cody cut one, and you could tell they cut it short with Cody and Sami. And it was like, okay, don't do this again the next week. And they didn't. You can't do it every week. And it's like the same thing to go back to Orange Cassidy. You can't. All right, the little guy beating the big guy. Every week?
Yep.
Damn. Every week, every big talent you have, another death match. It's just they're putting every goddamn bag that they have and they're throwing it at you every single week.
Yeah.
Let some of it trickle out. Passionate promos once a month. Bleed once every 6 months. You don't have to throw the whole kitchen table out. That it makes it hard to consume. That's all I got.
You got a winner on this match right here?
I have a different take, Savage. If we could just go back to the Moxley interview for a second.
Sure.
So AEW is trying to compete with the WWE. I mean, they have as much money, if not more, right? But their production values are lacking. If you notice that before they went to Moxley, they were showing a highlight from the previous week's angle, which I liked because they don't tend to do that. So they actually went back and they showed something that happened. But the transition, the fade looked like it was a second rate because there was actual pause. And I don't know if
you want to talk about production value? I'll say it right now. When Hobbs won the goddamn match and they're showing the referees holding the goddamn ladder, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're not part of the match. Why are you helping him win the match? Are you that?
And so then they go to Moxley. They go to Moxley in the stairwell, right?
Yeah.
I don't know whose bright idea was that because the acoustics suck. You could hardly even hear what he was saying. I mean, this is supposed to be a first-class operation. They're acting like a third class.
Yeah. You know, one of the other production issues is, Tom, it's we say this every week. It's, all right, I like high spots. Call me a Bucks mark and everything else. That's fine. But at least don't show the camera of the 12 guys outside the ring standing there waiting. Come on. At least show like production value. Make it look a little different. It
needs to be shot like a movie, and the people that are doing the cameras, they're noobs at this. They're not. Yeah. They're probably not even getting paid well. They probably don't have experience, or there's no good management. In my opinion, that's the one word to define AEW's problem: management. It is badly managed, like the McDonald's 5 blocks from here. It takes them 26 minutes to get 2 fucking pieces of meat on a bun and give me fries and a fucking Coke. Don't piss me off right now, man. All right, who's gonna win this match? I want to know right now. PJ Savage, who you got? You taking one?
Hangman.
I like it. I'm going Hangman too, and I like cowboy shit. Moxley needs a vacation for a couple weeks.
I think he is definitely going on vacation. It's all everything's pointing towards Hangman. Everything's pointing towards Hangman.
I don't know. I have a feeling that.
Here we go. I hear you.
Wait, never mind.
Never mind. It said never mind. Gave up.
Oh man, that's great. Come on, you got 30 seconds. What is it?
No, never mind.
Jay, you got anything, or we're moving it on? We'll just keep moving because I want to keep moving, man. We have another big match coming up. All right, they let us know that this has been made official. The Elite versus House of Black is going to happen. I think House of Black kind of needs to win this, so this way the Bucks can go their way, Kenny can go his way. That sets up Kenny for CM Punk, which is going to happen because people like to make money.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was a work, PJ Savage. I don't know if you agree with me. I think the whole thing was just a magnificent work. And it might have spiraled off some reality. Maybe Punk comes out, bad mood, all that. They're like, oh, that was good shit. Let's use it.
Yeah, I do think there's a level of work to it. I mean, as a wrestler, an active wrestler in locker rooms, we like to use something that's real and put it into real life situations. Who knows? Maybe he got hurt, and after the match, it was like, God damn it again. And it was like, let's turn this into something, you know? But the best of 7 series with Penta, and it killed the trios titles for me. It killed it. Everybody knew it was going to go 7. Everybody knew it was going to go 7. Everybody knew the Bucks and Omega was going to win. It killed it.
Nice touch with the ESPN music, right? ESPN music.
And the worst part about it, just because I study everything, the matches were phenomenal. No one watched. No one gave a shit because everybody was like, I'm just going to watch Game 7. If you know it's going to Game 7, why would you watch the first 6 games? No one's going to watch.
It's a good point. The Elite would come out. Everybody, right? Happy to see the Elite. But that wouldn't last long. The lights would go off, and then House of Black comes up, and they actually walk away with the gold. And then we get Samoa Joe. He's coming down to commentary for the match that's coming up, the Face of the Revolution ladder match. And this guy, Commander, what's his name? Commander? Honestly, I don't even know who the hell this guy is. This guy impressed the holy hell out of me tonight. This dude was all over the place. This match was actually much better than I thought it was going to be. A lot of good spots. The ending is what messed it up. Takeshita's awesome. In my opinion, to catch the maybe top 6, 7 active wrestlers in the world right now, the guy can go with anyone in the ring. He's that damn good. Look at that German on Hobbs. I mean, there was a lot of action, but look at this guy. That wasn't walking either, guys. He was running. I took another one just so you can see how fast he got to the corner right there. And look at him. Look at this guy. Lunatic. That blue thunder bomb off the ladder, God mode. Sammy doing his thing. That kind of looked scary, that fall. Looked like he hit his head on the ladder a little bit. Hopefully, yeah, obviously he was okay. He got back up, But Hobbs is your winner of the night, Do I have the picture of them holding the ladder? No, I should have. I guess I didn't want to shit on it that bad. Wardlow comes out. He's doing his thing. He does look jacked as hell. It looks like he got a little bigger, dropping that hair. PJ Savage, what was your thoughts on the ladder match and everything, I guess?
One again is just too much. One of the things I hate just being a wrestling fan and watching the product. You're introducing so many new guys at one time, and none of them have contacts. Like Commander Dude, amazing, but I felt like I saw a new guy that flippy flops 20 times already. And Dante was like one of the first ones. One of the other guys that was in it, Action, I think it was. It's just too many new guys just thrown together, and it's like a typical kind of ladder match, which sucks because it's an amazing match. If you just watch the match with no context, it's amazing. The things that they do is amazing. But you can't just throw that on a Wednesday night. That's a pay-per-view match, and you have to build up each and every competitor. You don't just give away Money in the Bank with no build-up. Come on. That's
one of the best takes I've heard in a long time, man.
Same thing with the blood, same thing with the tons of high spots and everything. It's like there's no meaning to it anymore because it's every Wednesday, every Friday.
Yep, exactly. It's hard. It's hard to get invested into characters, and that's what pro wrestling is. I don't care what anyone says. Pro wrestling is you loving your favorite guy, wanting to watch him win or watch him lose. You're not going to watch someone you don't care about. You're just not. Make me care about the guys that are in the ring before you put them in these big situations. And then, I'm sorry, Powerhouse Hobbs should have won 2 years ago.
You're not wrong. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that he hasn't already won, but I knew he was going to win the match tonight from all the promo buildup they've done for him. They put too much into him in the last couple of weeks with all those vignettes for him not to win this match. But the way he won the match, it just pissed me off because it's like you're just making him look weak. What's the big deal? Throw the ladder out. He destroyed the ladder by ramming it. That's how powerful he is. That looks great. He picks it up, looks angry, throws it, go get another one. Just punch everyone in the face, clothesline someone, do something. Improvise. To me, that's the biggest problem in pro wrestling today. Guys go off all these scripts, right? And it's great to be able to talk about matches and have everything ready to go, PJ. But as any good professional wrestler knows, shit happens.
Yeah.
Somebody gets hurt, all of a sudden you can't do that high spot. What do? You got to change. You got to improvise. You got to adapt to your environment.
It's funny you say that. How I gauge wrestlers that I work with. If someone's getting a match with me and I want to gauge how good they are, they'll be like, all right, so what we're doing tonight? We're calling it in the ring, brother. And I gauge how good he is by the face he makes after I say that. If he looks like he's going to shit his pants and he wants to hang around me the whole night, I know I'm going to be in for something that night. I know he's going to forget a couple spots. But I want to learn through that. I want to work with greener guys that, just don't get it. But you have to know how to improvise. And improvising, all professional wrestlers out there, especially the new ones, is just using common sense, bro.
I like that mentality. I guess I started training when I was really young, so for me it was like I didn't like calling the spots in the match because it looks like you can hide it, but smart marks can see it. Just have everything planted and shit. Obviously, you can still improvise, but usually the bigger guy does the improvisation. I'm always fighting someone smaller than me. All right, he fucked up this spot. All right, you're getting fucking powerbombed. End story. Going home.
Exactly. And everybody knows you just have to know how to call it. You could go by bullet points, but you don't have to call every single detail. But you just got to know how to get to point A to point B without.
You shouldn't have to call the first 6-7 minutes of a match.
No.
You should be able to get in there. You'll walk the ring. You'll lock up. You have big man, high man spot, little man, whatever it is, cat and mouse, whatever you're playing. You have your little thing. Submissions, back and forth, counters, hip toss, this, that, arm drag. This should be like 2-3 snapmares, for Christ's sakes, into a chin lock. Counter, roll around, grab the leg. Fucking wrestle!
Common sense. And a lot of people don't use it, brother.
Fucking wrestle! Then go nuts. Build it up, like you said. I don't know, man. We're getting off track, but it's okay. Danhausen and Orange Cassidy tonight. They're going to shock the world, maybe. They're going to be in that, I guess they're going to be in a ladder match. No, tag team battle royale.
Yeah.
Jericho's going to come out, and he's going to basically beat the shit out of poor Peter Avalon. Peter Avalon actually did beat the shit out of him first, but then, of course, Jericho just beat the crap out of him with a baseball bat. JAS comes down. They beat the hell out of him. And then, of course, little Ricky has to come out. He didn't bring his maxi pads, unfortunately. I guess John Moxley took him so he could stop all that bleeding. But, you know, it is what it is.
Oh, God.
Ricky Starks. I like Ricky Starks, but I feel like he got exposed when they put him with MJF so quickly. That first week, he cut that amazing promo, and then the second week, it's like,
And you know what it is, too? It's like what we keep saying, the theme of the episode, stop giving it to me every week. Don't expect him to do it every single week, because no matter what, he cut the great one, and maybe the second week was better than the first, but you don't care, because it's like, I don't want to. I remember when he was having the promos with Hobbs. He annoyed the shit out of me. I'm sorry. I'm going to be in the locker room one day. He's going to hate me. I don't care. I'll buy you a steak, bro. But this isn't passion. Just bring your face in, and then I'm going to talk like this. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. That's not a passionate promo, man. Like, stop. Just stop pushing. Stop forcing it. Don't force it. Let it be real. Let it be organic. Have some levels to this shit. And he showed some levels with Jericho last week when he cut the promo, and Jericho got the pop with the click. Then he smiled. It was like, okay, those are different levels to you, but it's still... They fucked up his booking with Hobbs. I'm sorry. They buried him with Hobbs, and then Hobbs got buried, and it's like, how can I give him respect? And then the MJF stuff was like, where the hell did this come from? And then I know MJF isn't going to give a shit because he's facing Brian. It's goddamn, it's all over the place.
It is all over the place, just like we all over the place. And this is Jay, and Jay apparently has a question for you.
I was gonna say earlier on, you know, before the indie scene, you're one of Johnny Rod's boys, and when you're Johnny Rod's boys, you basically can't go nowhere. You know, you in there, you giving it 100%. Tell me about that difficult decision you had to make and say to yourself, you know, walking in Johnny Rod's office, you know what, John, I'm just gonna see what I could do out there. I'm gonna put my talent. What made you go through that difficult decision? Was it a difficult decision for you? Was it an easy decision for you? So
it was difficult. I was his guy. I was his number one guy. I was his heavyweight champion, head trainer. I was his guy. I loved him. Like, I still love him. I owe him everything. I named my youngest son after him. But I knew it was gonna hurt him. Just me leaving. Because I drank the Kool-Aid. I stood there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told other guys, don't leave. And then I wasn't getting any younger. And then I noticed everybody just didn't know what I did. And it was like, I did a lot, man. I got a lot of skin in the game, and I can hang. And I have to restart. I literally have to be a green boy and hit the indies because no one knew what was going on. So that made the decision easy. But it was tough, but I had to bet on myself. And I'm always going to bet on myself.
That's the way to do it. You got to take that chance. You always got to take that gamble because you only got this one life that we know about. Maybe we have more. I don't know. But for right now, from what I see, it's the one. So make it a good one. Does anybody have anything to say about this Jericho match? And then, of course, Jericho, Ricky Starks. I think Ricky's going to go over at the pay-per-view. That's just me. But how about you guys?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, right. You do never know anymore. Sensical stories aren't a thing here anymore.
All right. How about this guy? Does anybody want to say anything about Christian Cage? He comes out, he cuts a promo with Renee. You know, Cage says that he can't wait to not come back here for another 10 years. That was a good line. He said Jungle Boy treats his business like a video game. And, you know, Christian just wants to fight. Just like your father, you're a no-talent hack, and you're lucky you got Hollywood good looks to get through this business. And then, of course, we see a picture of Jack Perry. I think, right? Where'd I put it? Nah, fuck that picture. He was digging a grave. He had I don't know. This didn't do anything for me. I don't know about you guys. I'm not believing all of a sudden that Jack Perry now is like,
now he's a killer.
Now he's the Undertaker.
Oh, Lord.
It's just,
we're talking about killing people now on AEW.
They're turning him into Moxley now.
I'm with Tom. They should have made a cruiserweight division. They would have just did them justice. Guys like him could be great in it. But they dropped the ball with Christian a long time ago. I love Christian Cage. He's a main event player. Him in TNA was one of the best runs of a singles wrestler I've ever witnessed.
I've heard good things. I got to go back and watch it.
Christian Cage
content always.
That was fucking awesome. I hated him in WWE. He was always a mid-carder to me. He was always second Edge. In TNA, it was like, holy shit, this guy's better than Edge. Like, that was legit.
You weren't one of the peeps?
No, I hated the peep shit. Like, I fucking hated it. I hated it. But
I have an observation. I want to know if PJ agrees with me or not on this, because I'm just a fan. First off, I don't know anything about the inner workings of the wrestling business. I've never been a wrestler, okay, but I've watched it for 40 years. So tonight, when Christian was doing his interview, the crowd was shitting on him, and it was almost like they didn't want to hear him. I think they were saying "shut the fuck up" or something. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
All Christian was trying to do was talk over the crowd. If you saw, he had more intensity, and he was trying to talk over the crowd.
He was just trying to get through his promo.
Personally speaking, and I want to know, PJ, if you agree with this or not, I would have actually just shut up. I wouldn't have said anything. I would have pissed the crowd off, and I would have waited for them to shut up before I continued my interview. I would have done something to piss them off. And, that's just my opinion. I don't know, because I didn't think it worked tonight, his promo.
There would have been some improvising for sure. Stone Cold, Jericho, and I'm always saying, listen to the crowd.
I found the picture, by the way.
That's a great picture.
That's a cheap.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that was bad.
Cheap tombstone.
But back to the promo. Like, you feed into the crowd. You could have changed it up. Maybe he had directions just to get through this, to get Jungle Boy over. And that's what it seems like. It seems like there's a lot of force to get some of the pillars over. And if they're not working, they shouldn't be pillars. If you got to work that hard. I mean, Cody said it when he left. He was like, one of the worst words that was used inside AEW was over. Just because you get chants and just because people like you, that's not over. His father, Dusty, always said it, me being a Dusty Mark. Over is putting 15 years of work into a town, showing up, they put your face on the bill and it shows out. That's over. So it's just one of those things, man.
You know what the funny thing is, too? Tony Khan's probably paying a pretty fucking penny for that theme, Jungle Boy's music. Because that's all copyrighted. That's money. He's paying for that. I don't see a return on that at all.
There's a lot of money in AEW, just off of theme songs, and it's a lot of the guys that they have. There's a lot of money tied up into that place, and honestly, I don't want to see a place burn down and crash. I want to see AEW.
They got enough money to keep going probably for like 10 years without nothing bothering them. I think.
God damn, they
got that fuck you money.
Man.
They got that fuck you money. Yo, Vince is probably.
You know what they need to do with all that money? Well, what they need to do with all that money is hire good fucking creative. Really good creative veterans, guys that know what they're doing in the back, guys to stabilize that locker room.
They have guys that know what they're doing. They just don't put anybody in charge. It's just Tony running around doing everything, and that's probably why.
Or maybe there's a couple interviews I saw Dusty do, and he always said, if you run creative that week, your show's going to suck. Maybe they run creative that week or that day. And that's why you get a cheap-looking tombstone, because you didn't have a month to prep for it. So if you're doing everything day of, it's going to kind of suck because you're just putting everything together. Now, if you're planning out and you know a road, which it doesn't look like they do, I'm sorry. It just doesn't look like they know the end goal for any of their storylines. And they're going to go on and go on. So, it just, I don't know, man. There's a lot of mix-up over there. I hope they clean it up, man, because I used to love AEW when it first came out. I
still get excited to see it, but it's not like what it was 2 years ago.
No. Yeah, no.
That's why Kenny's. They need to keep Kenny Omega, I think.
I personally had a lull watching any of the products, and AEW gave me like another kick in the ass, to get that love revitalized of new characters, new stories, and it's like.
Did anybody care? Did anybody care about Hangman Adam Page? He says the only thing you can't take away from me is my heart because you can't carry it. I'm gonna take your spot at the top of the food chain. I didn't believe a word, and I love Hangman, but I think he is gonna win that match. But the promo that did nothing for me at all.
You know why you didn't believe in it? Because you already saw one passionate promo at the beginning of the show. There's only room for one passionate promo. If you put one on, the next one's going to suck. You're not going to be invested. They're pushing too much. It's too much. Great promo, but Moxley already cut one bloody, and you're here standing pretty in your cowboy shirt. I can't believe you.
Yeah, sometimes with Hangman, I think more is less. I mean, excuse me, less is more. He should just say a couple of things and then just be like, I'm too focused on the match. I'm out of here.
Yep, I agree.
Something like that. But whatever. They make mistakes. They're allowed to make mistakes.
He needs to just pull up on a horse in all his promos and say time for cowboy shit and keep going.
I have a big question for you.
Look, he popped. Look, Tom popped. I'm telling you, it writes it fucking self.
I like
man.
that.
You're not wrong. But I want to know what you think about the AEW women's division right now, particularly the women's champion, Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker, Saraya. What do you think about what's going on with the women's division in general in AEW? Do you think they're doing it justice?
No.
Who do you think has the best women's division on primetime TV right now?
Oh, WWE by far.
NXT or WWE main roster?
Main roster. There's nothing touches the main roster for me. It's Becky, Bianca, Bailey. Bailey's on another level. It's just WWE's just that's them. This AEW women's roster reminds me a lot of TNA's knockout division when it was like hot, when Gail Kim was on her game and Mickey was on her game and they were all on it. And they're just second fiddle because it's just nothing's adding up, nothing makes sense. And
I'm a big fan of the NXT women's division. I think there's a lot of
it's amazing. I love Roxy.
Yeah.
Roxy's
Roxy. Yeah, your J-boy Jay down there will be happy as hell.
Roxy's awesome. But it just and seeing Britt Baker as like a second fiddle does not make sense.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
She's more over than any other woman on that roster right now.
She's playing second fiddle.
By far. She's their woman Kenny Omega. Use it.
We've been waiting for her to turn on Jamie forever because she's better as a heel anyway. And it's like, someone told me long-term storytelling. I said, bullshit. They just don't know what they're doing right now.
Right.
And not everything can be long-term. You have to have one long-term storyline and keep a couple short ones going. Everything's going too far, too long.
I'm worried with Saraya because I love Saraya and Paige, and I'm a big fan of her from back in the day. But she's having a rough go of it right now because they tried putting her over as a baby face. It just didn't work out, didn't pan that way. So now they're forcing the heel turn, and it's not organic. Britt saying Saraya is never going to have the belt, and I don't even think that's true. I feel like she's going to be like the female CM Punk.
Yeah.
And if CM Punk does come back, I hope they treat him more like a Sting. You make him a special attraction. You really build up his matches. All his matches should have a 3-month build up, and he should be wrestling 6 times a year and make it special.
I'm a huge CM Punk mark. He rekindled my love for the business back when he was feuding with Cena.
He's on the show.
I hated Cena. CM Punk, he brought me back into it. He made me love it again. Cult of personality made me love professional wrestling again.
Same here.
But they need to book him like they booked Brock Lesnar. He comes in every once in a while, and he's just, when that music hits, you're going to go crazy because you don't know when the music is going to hit. And he needs to be a part-timer. What he hated. He needs to be a part-timer.
We had another match in AEW. Hook versus Matt Hardy over here. And, there's Hook coming in. He's going to get in the ring. Basically, he's going to get the win. It's pretty much like a squash match. You had Ethan Page hit him with some kind of bandage or some crap. I don't know. Whatever, man. Anybody have anything on this? PJ, obviously, you can go first. Hook is impressive. I love Hook. And I think they're kind of doing him the right way as far as him not talking a lot. But eventually, he's going to run out of opponents. Where do you want to see them put Hook first as far as another title goes?
Oh, Hook deserves to be showcased. But it's hard to showcase him against the talent that you have on the AEW roster because they got years, they got 10 years. You can't showcase him and have him squash Matt Hardy. I'm sorry. That was it. Just me as a fan looking at it, it was disrespectful and it made me not like Hook. So that was, in a way, it was kind of like bad booking. But Hook needs to be on Ring of Honor and needs to be the up and coming star of Ring of Honor. Build him up. Just build him up. And Jesus Christ, how many times am I going to drop the ball with Ethan Page? Turn him heel and just no manager, no group. Let Ethan Page be an asshole and he'll get over. Like, I loved him in Impact. He needs a stage. He needs no handcuffs. Just let him go.
I like that too. Does anybody else have anything on Hook and Matt Hardy tonight?
You can't sell.
Who?
I'm going to say it right now. Hook cannot sell. Matt Hardy just gave him straight punches, and he just looked like he had something in his eye.
Did you guys see that they also hit heads tonight?
Yeah.
There was
Hook is green. Hook is.
I just want to say this. Instead of us seeing Hook on the offensive, Let's see him on the defensive more. I think if we see more of that, it'll be even more impressive that it is. Like PJ said, let's put him in Ring of Honor and let him rise up to that ladder. And I think that will just give him more and more experience to know how to sell. Because the selling, I just didn't. It wasn't believable to me as a fan.
I can't take anything from Hook. He's a good-looking kid. He actually has good ring movement for how little he's been in the business. So a few more years of him wrestling like this, I could see him being a star with a mouthpiece, unless he starts talking all of a sudden. I don't know.
One really good dynamic you could compare him to, and it's very similar. Dominic Mysterio and Hook. Two different companies, both sons of famous fathers, and you can see how they're being handled. Prison Dom is fucking hilarious. Did you take to him right away? Hell no. You kind of made me think Hook was over because you put him with Action Bronson from the get. That don't work. It's like the quicker you get into a relationship, the faster you're going to break up. That's just how it goes. So the quicker you give him a start, the more faster the breakdown might be. And we're seeing cracks in the armor. He's green. He looks green in the ring.
We would trash in Judgment Day on this show every week. Like, we've had enough of it. We're done with it. And then, like, just
no,
like
it's
the
perfect
couple
now.
months, it's been so fucking good.
Yeah, Prison Dom, bro. Give me. I was watching Sheamus' workout video because he had Prison Dom on.
They had that perfectly.
Oh.
They had it all perfectly planned with the holiday attacks, the Thanksgiving, the Christmas. They made it personal, and it's one of the longer stories besides the Bloodline storyline in the WWE right now. It's been going on for a while. That's why it's working. Unlike what's happening here with House of Black coming in, coming out. They're great 1 month, then they're gone another month, or somebody's injured or whatever. I'm hoping now they just take the titles away. They say they're leaving the titles there, but Sunday, you guys have already lost, so they're just making a statement. Now we're going to get a match, Tony Storm versus Riho. Riho wins. There was a distraction, some shenanigans. Two former world champions going at it right there. Riho would pick up the win. Soraya, Jamie Hayter going at it. Britt Baker would get involved outside, but then Ruby Soho would come down and she'd get involved. There's Britt going at it with Tony Storm for no apparent reason, throwing shitty punches at each other for whatever the fuck reason that makes no sense. And then here's all the officials. Apparently we need eight officials to break up these three ladies. All right, I believe that. Sure, I believe it. Does anybody have a prediction on this match?
It could go either way because this is the strangest women's division storyline, period. It does not make sense. If you want an example, I'll tell you the finish. It makes sense to anybody that Rio, who hasn't been used in the first year of AEW, got the win over Storm, who was fighting this weekend. Did it make sense to anybody?
Half the shit I see on AEW doesn't make sense to friends. I don't know.
I just think this was just an average match. There was some spots. Storm is not getting love, guys. I think the crowd just dies all the time.
That's not even the fucking question I asked. God damn it! Who is winning this match? That's all I care about right now.
It could go either way. It could go either way because it's so strange. Either way,
it's either gonna be Rubius or Paige.
I would like to see Ruby. Just personally, I think she's earned it.
No,
yeah, I'm with you there. I like Ruby. I love Ruby. Ruby's, I think, honestly.
You saw that match on Rampage a few weeks ago where she got color?
Yeah, Ruby's phenomenal. Her and Britt Baker should be feuding for the title right now.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but what about Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter fighting for the title? Don't you think Jamie Hayter should retain so they could punch into that storyline?
No, that's a better storyline to tell without the title.
They can tell that story for
match then. Okay.
They could tell that for weeks, like they're competing to become number one contender, and then they screw each other out of winning and winning and winning.
That's right. Maybe Britt causes Jamie to lose. Right.
You know, there could be all kinds of nonsense.
I was gonna say, if anything, Britt could be the one that causes Jamie to lose the match, and then it can go into a feud. You know, the title goes somewhere else, and then they could do their little feud instead.
Perfect.
That's perfect.
Hey, Lewis, welcome to the show.
How's it going? How's everything?
Did you get Jack his coffee today? Did you get any work
I didn't work
today?
I didn't work today.
Yeah, you don't work any fucking day. Even when you go to work, you ain't working. Shut your ass up.
Jeez.
All right, PJ Savage, I'm going to show you a picture, and I want you to tell me your immediate first reaction. Are you ready, sir?
Yeah, I'm ready. Oh, god damn. God damn. It's bad. It's bad. If you're a casual fan and you see that, poor Keith.
Yeah.
Damn, Keith Lee's so good. He's so good, and they just don't know what to do with him. They don't know.
Yo, Dustin looks so confused. Like, why am I here?
The second major company that has no idea what to do with Keith Lee.
Yeah,
WWE didn't do him any favors.
They made him look like a god in Survivor Series. Let's not lie. Let's not
NXT.
Yeah.
NXT.
Different stuff. Yeah.
He was covered in NXT.
Keith was a beast. Rumble Keith, monster.
Yeah.
Vince destroyed him. It's just like, let's put a skirt on him.
Yeah, just like he destroyed LA Knight. LA Knight just lost to Kofi Kingston for no reason randomly after headlining a Royal Rumble. Like, what's the point in doing that?
Yeah, LA Knight got to stop talking like Stone Cold. He's probably rubbing somebody the wrong way. I promise you. Doing and getting the crowd to say what? It's rubbing somebody the wrong way.
Yeah, but that's always been his gimmick, though. Like even
that was why he wasn't in the E. That was why he wasn't in the E. Everybody said it.
Yeah, but he was signed at one point. Then they got rid of him. Then he went to Impact. Became.
And then he was Max Dupree.
Well, there's a lot before that.
Yeah,
it was a lot. It was a lot. I liked him in Impact.
I mean, little NWA stint, and then
the NWA stint. He elevated NWA.
He killed 100%. He killed it at NWA.
And now NWA sucks.
Yeah. When NWA had Kingston, him, and all this, and Power was coming out, that was probably one of the best shows running at that time.
It has no hype anymore.
Yeah, it's
once they, in my opinion, once they gave Tyrus the belt, done.
It was tough. The wrestling community didn't take well to it. It was tough.
Yeah, well, sometimes they take well to anything. Sometimes half of them take well to anything. They just eat it up like the zombies they are, and then the rest are like, "This sucks." Casino Tag Team Battle Royale coming up. Oh man, I actually like this match. It was much better than the one we had last Wednesday. I love Aussie Open, and I love some of the surprises. But I hated the last few people in the ring because then I knew what was going to happen. I would have been happy if Butcher and Blade would have won. That would have made me happy. They paid their dues. AEW OGs. It would have been more but instead, go ahead, Ant.
It would have been more of a like if you'd given us more of a credible tag team, that match would have been great. But the fact that you gave us fucking Danhausen and Orange Cassidy to win, like how do they factor in the tag team title picture? Butcher and Blade, to me, fares better in the title picture.
Yeah, but if you look, if you look at that Fatal 4-Way at Revolution, if Butcher and Blade won, that would have been 3 heel tag teams against the Acclaimed. It wouldn't have worked. You gotta have that balance there.
Can you guys imagine they win the tag titles? Oh my god,
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
No.
Look
at that point, I'm beyond.
These guys are the guns are fucking great. I love the guns. They're always in character. They're like trying to be like little mini MJFs. They're staying on character at the signings, on the interviews. They're being assholes everywhere they go. There's footage of these guys being assholes at Walmart, for Christ's sakes. I love it.
Good.
Fucking love it. Anyway, I don't love the ending of this match. Danhausen doesn't look like he could push anyone over the top rope, let alone 2 people at the same damn time. Claim comes out, Jeff Jarrett comes out, blah, blah, blah. Now let's get to the good stuff. And BJ Savage, obviously, we're going to go to you. MJF, Bryan Danielson, do you think they've done this storyline right? And who do you think is going to win the match? I think MJF's 100% going to have a banger of a match that's going to shock a lot of people. And he's gonna retain over Danielson. What do you think?
It's too much MJF cutting promos. He's amazing at it, but it's just too much. And I don't believe that this is a blood feud. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't believe that. I would rather this be I like the direction that MJF tried to take that promo in last week. No one else does it like him. But Daniel Bryan's not going to feed into the blood feud stuff. He'll do it in the ring and make it feel like it's a blood feud in the ring by the match he puts together. But I feel like that just comes across it should be more of a story of, can MJ hang? Can MJF hang with a Daniel Bryan, or is he a B+ player? Damn, that would be a good storyline. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just keep it wrestling. You don't have to make everything a blood feud. Fucking all their major feuds are like blood feuds. And I'm coming for your family, and
all the gods coming out to stop a brawl. Like every week that happens now.
Oh, like why not just make it Daniel Bryan looking at MJF going, "Can you hang?" Because I know I can. I was called a B+ player, and look what I became. I'm calling you a B+ player. Do you deserve that title? Show me. Or are you just a rich kid that runs your mouth? Like it's so much you could do with that storyline instead of making it such like a personal blood feud.
I feel the storytelling could be better. It's not as good as the CM Punk MJF. That story was way better last year.
But you had Punk. Punk goes into that. Punk had the whole entrance. He brought out the Ring of Honor entrance with the gear and everything. Jeez, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it right now. Like that was he dives into that.
To me, that was actually my favorite. I picked that as story of the year last year that didn't get to live out completely.
Daniel Bryan's not gonna bleed into that blood feud from a promo aspect.
But match-wise, it could be a special match, though.
Yeah, 100%. It's gonna be a special match. But I don't like that AEW is forcing it and telling me it's gonna be a special match. Let it be a special match.
That actually makes sense. No, that's AEW. We actually got through the night. Does anybody else have anything to say about MJF, Bryan Danielson, before we get the hell out of here? Because I'm sure PJ Savage has some people to beat up tonight.
I got some kids to put to sleep.
That's a good. I like it though, PJ. You're right. It's forced, almost like these guys are like ultimate enemies for like the last 30 years, and it's like you just don't feel it.
They're not. They're not ultimate enemies. They're just one guy's from WWE. And the other guy's from AEW. Yeah. The story writes itself. Just use it. Yeah. Pull back some curtains. Call somebody a B+ player, Daniel. Yeah. I've been dying for you to say it. And it's
only problem with that though is that turns MJF face because you're making him the underdog.
He's already face. He's not a heel. He's the heel that everyone loves. He is a face.
I think that's only in the tri-state area, though. To be honest,
maybe. I haven't seen him.
I think the rest of the country literally hates this man and wants to see him die.
Maybe
New Jersey, New York, maybe PA, Connecticut. Yeah, probably love the guy. Long Island, forget about it.
Anywhere there's a smart fan, you don't hate him because you know it's not. I don't want to say that it's not real.
I just met him. I met him for the first time. I've talked to him like from the stands. He saw me once, but I just met him at Creative Pro. He was randomly there doing commentary on a Creative Pro house show, and somebody's like, "MJF." Nobody believed me. I told this guy Gilch, I'm like, "Yo, MJF's here." He's like, "No fucking way." I'm like, "Yo, get up." I didn't have my suit on. I wasn't prepped. PJ Savage, because if I was, MJF would have never forgotten that interaction ever in his fucking life, ever. But you know what he told me though? I didn't know what to tell him because I was like I wasn't in character and I wasn't gonna cut a promo on him. I just wanted to say what's up. Of course, he fuck off. First thing he says, fuck off. And then I see him in the parking lot again. He's driving off in his fucking Tesla, and he has his window down. He's texting. I'm like, have a good night. Fuck off.
He's one of the best things going today. But I promise you saw when he first came back, he was getting babyface pops.
Yeah.
When he came out in the Buffalo jersey, everybody knew he was going to turn heel, but they was getting babyface pops. He would probably be a bigger babyface than Cody.
Dude, I know his mom. I've met her 3 times. Look at this.
Go! We're here live with MJF's mom, and her son, the greatest wrestler in the world, is going to win the AEW World Championship tonight, and there's nothing anyone can do about it!
Yeah, I'm a fucking animal, but yeah.
Yeah, you are. Definitely. I can't wait to meet you on Friday.
Yeah. Friday night. Obviously, tickets are sold out. Do I need a ticket?
No. You're in.
All right, come down, do the thing, wrestling with Savage, all the nonsense.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I need a card, man. You guys
have
a card?
I'm going to get it for you tomorrow.
This way I know what the hell I'm doing. I don't want to come over there and be a clown.
No, when is this? Oh, this is Friday in the Bronx, right?
Friday, Invictus. Yeah. Let me pull it up again real quick. I believe I have it. I should have everything right here. There's a lot going on, man. We showed you all that earlier, but PJ Savage, man, doing his thing, wrestling all over the place. Pretty soon you're going to see this guy, I think, or you're going to see him on AEW. Would you have, if you had a choice right now, like all the contracts are in front of you, and you could pick exactly where you wanted to go? Are you going the WrestleMania route? You going AEW? Going Impact? You going New Japan? Where are you going?
It would be very tempting to go to New Japan. I really want to go to New Japan, but I would sign with WWE. It's the WrestleMania 10. It's engraved in me, man.
It is, and there it is right there. Look at that, Bronx. And now, if it is sold out, could people still show up at the door and just kind of jam their way
I think
in?
they are still having some tickets at the door.
If you show up and you have cash, I'm pretty sure they will find a spot.
They're gonna let you in. They're gonna let you in.
Standard room only.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
But
can
yeah.
you tell me about some of the people in this picture right here? Like, let's start on the left right there. I see you right there. Now, who's the guy holding all the money? That's the current champion of the world.
That's Ken Broadway, the Invictus Pro Wrestling Grand Champion. You got Big Ben Bishop right behind him. That's the Invictus Pro Wrestling Social Media Champion. You got Edith Surreal. That's the Women's Champion. Big Game Leroy. There's so many people here. You got MV Young right next to me. You got the Fight or Die Tag Team Champions. They have a Rumble later that night. Winner gets to face Ken Broadway at a future date. There's so many guys in there, man. There's so many guys.
Where are these guys all training out of mostly?
Most of them are from New York and New Jersey.
Ken Broadway's a House of Glory guy.
Yeah, there's some House of Glory people there. There's some Johnny guys there.
I know you're working with GCW. You're working with Game Changer Wrestling as well, aren't you?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I'm working with SAT Heavy. So there's gonna be some cool stuff coming out of that. So it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool.
Your boys SAT, they put me on to you. They're like, oh yeah. I want to stick you with Savage. I'm like, is he a good talker? They're like, yeah. I'm like, what does he need me for? He doesn't need me. He's a good talker.
That's the problem. I'll work well with a manager, but the problem is I talk. I can talk.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, listen, if you have two good talkers and the timing is right, like, I open, you close. But it could work, but I think it works better when it's
win. It could work that win. Who knows?
When it's a big stable, though, bro, and you have your one star, and then you have your,
Yeah, it could definitely work.
kind of like JAS type of shit with a manager. Like, you have your stooges that help get everything done. Something like that. Man.
That's where they should have put Stokely Hathaway. They should have put him with Jericho.
He's so talented, Stokely. That would have been a great addition, actually. That's it. You should be booking AEW right there. All right, so WrestleMania. Let's talk about WrestleMania real quick. Unless you got to go. You got a couple of minutes to talk about Mania?
Yeah, I got 5 more minutes.
All right, 5 more minutes. So WrestleMania main event, obviously, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. You got a winner?
Cody. It's Cody.
100%. You don't think there's a chance that they actually let Reigns maybe go after Hogan's record? And he's...
There is. But the build-up around Cody, I think WWE's itching to introduce a new title. They want to separate the titles again. Cody's going to...
hope so.
I think Cody wins and introduces a new belt Monday night.
They got to. Yeah.
I love that. I hope that happens, man. I hope
They
Roman's
got
still not
to
holding the
because
title.
they got to because they were taking heat from USA Network that the title wasn't on Raw for so long.
Yeah. They're itching to do the titles, and Cody's the guy. He's built up as the babyface. He is that babyface right now, but can he hang? Can he?
What would be your WrestleMania dream match if you could book it this year? Like let's say you won the Rumble or whatever. Or...
Me versus someone, or just like
what's your dream match? You want to have it?
I want Roman. Roman's the guy to beat. Yeah, like I want to go to promo war with Roman and Heyman. I want to be in Cody's spot. I want to go to war with Roman. I want to be the guy that can potentially end Roman, end the bloodline. You know what I'm saying?
I love that confidence, man. Don't worry, you got a big chance because Roman's only the second best member of the Shield. Okay, you'll be fine. All right, so real quick before we let you go, I'm going to put you on the spot. Give me your Mount Rushmore.
My Mount Rushmore is Dusty Rhodes, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bret Hart, and Kenny Omega.
I love it, man. That's a great list. A lot of diversity, and you heard it right here on Wrestling with Savage. PJ Savage, thank you so much for joining us here on the show. I hope you had a good time. Everybody here, thank you for being on. Tom, all you guys, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. I'll be here tomorrow night. I'll have an interview with Greek God Papa Don. Make sure you tune in. Everybody have a good night. And PJ Savage, I'll see you on Friday.
Hell yeah, bro. Thank you for having me.
Shades will be on, but I'll take them off for you, all right? I'll be a human.
All right, brothers. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good night, brother. Peace. Everybody's out of here. They're all out of here. If you guys want to stick around and hang out after the stream, go for it, Tom or Jay or anybody. I don't know. Otherwise, it's just me, and I'm
Mr. Kennedy, and he has a lot to say to everyone out there watching. He's going to be on Wrestling with Savage. Stop yelling so